We all we need to have our own curly hair. We need to do something for curly hair with figure. Curly hair something. And today, so if y'all can hear them in the background, just keep rolling with the punches. All right. But thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode on Beyond the Barbell with your hosts, Larhana Robinson and Nicole Zenobia Graham. We first want to say thank y'all so much for all of the support, for all of the follows, the likes, the shares. You know, it truly, truly means a lot to us, and we cannot grow unless we have the support of you guys. So thank y'all so much for that.
Yes. Thank you so much again for all of the support. We really, really appreciate it. The platform is growing every day, every week. So, I mean, this is definitely a positive for the whole division, us as a whole. Just wanted to let you guys know we will also be covering the Sasquatch Pro this weekend. We're so looking forward to seeing all of our figure sisters up there. I mean, it's a heck of a lineup. It is definitely stacked, not only in the open, but also in Masters as well. So we're definitely looking forward to covering it, seeing it. We've seen some pictures. Everybody looks amazing. So Larhana and I would like to say best wishes and to leave it all on the stage.
Yes, give it your best, smile. Your performance is your last sales tactic. So give it your all. Like, you only got one shot to impress the judges. Y'all can do it. So let's welcome on our guest, Miss Natasha Marshall. She not only got her pro card at North America Championships, but she won the overall. So let's get her on here really quick. 1 second. There we go. Any minute now.
Here we go. Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome to Barbell. Thank you for being here with us.
I might need a little fangirl moment to catch my breath before I can say anything eloquent or It's so awesome to be here with you two. Wow.
Thank you so much for taking the time to actually come on and, chat with us a little bit and tell us about your journey. So, we definitely appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, it's such an honor. And it did not go unnoticed who your guests were the last couple of days. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm on Wednesday following that. What?
Well, you're just as impressive. So.
Oh, you're too sweet.
Yeah. So tell us before we get into your background, tell us why you chose figure, because we just want to know, this is our division and we are big on promoting our division. So we want to always start out with knowing why you even chose figure to begin with.
Yeah. And I have to say first that I could not be more excited about the mission you guys are on and want to do absolutely anything I can for it, because figure is just like, could there be anything more perfect than the figure division? I don't know. Yeah. So I actually, I did my very first competition, my first 2 years maybe, in bikini. And I was this tiny little stick, like scrawny thing. And it was sort of an accident, like, that I decided to compete, do that one bikini show because it scared the hell out of me. So I decided, I'll give it a go. But this was, I think it was 2011. So, I mean, this is a long time ago. And as you know, the division was so different. Like, the level of muscularity in bikini and figure was so different in 2011. But anyway, somehow, I don't know how, but I got first in this bikini competition. And so I was, I'll do another one. And then, but I also think, I don't know what you guys think about this, I also think the posing in bikini in like 2011 was different. I think it was a little bit more poised. That's not the right word. It's evolved as well. But even then I was I wasn't, the posing in bikini didn't quite feel like me. But I definitely did not have the muscle, you know, to compete in the figure division. But I kept, you know, I did a few competitions, and then I just fell in love with growing muscle. And it was like I'd never seen that on my body before, and it was so exciting. And so you know, I was at a bigger bikini competition, and I finally got that feedback, and I felt like I was a little bit too muscular, and I was like, oh, yes, because I loved the look and the posing and the poise of the figure girls, and I just admired it so much, and so I decided to move up, and then I did my first bikini. I did my first figure competition in 2013.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, that's such a long time ago.
Hey, everybody's got their own journey.
Yeah,
And that,
and it was the oh, it was the Tahoe show, and
Oh, yeah.
then I did that my first figure show there, and then I did the Sacramento Governor's Cup that
Oh,
year. Yeah,
that's awesome. Because a
yeah.
lot of they start. I started in bikini. I feel like bikini is a starting point for a lot of
You
people.
did?
Yeah, I did. I did
That's
10
amazing.
my first
Wow.
year that I competed, 10 bikini shows. But it's because oh, literally like when you find your coach, you're literally just giving him a ball of clay and saying, "Here, mold me into this." But you don't know what that clay looks like up under all the fat. Clearly, I was fat as hell when I first started.
That's
sorry.
To see what kind of to begin with, you know? So I feel like bikini is a starting point for a lot of people until you get to see the muscle that you have underneath and your actual structure. You can't really, you know, decide to go, like, if I had no black spread, I would not be in figure. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's awesome.
yeah.
There.
If it wasn't for bikini, I wouldn't be doing what I am doing today. I wouldn't have just won the overall, you know, in North Americans. I wouldn't have gotten into it because I was, like I said, I had like no muscle, and I'd just come out of like a very different phase in my life. I'd been a vegetarian for like 6 or 7 years,
Oh,
um,
wow.
and you know, so it was exactly what you said. It was an entry point, and then I just fell in love with the figure division soon. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And so, besides, you know, pick figure, you excelled in it. One thing I want to bring up is this is exactly what we talked about with Candace. And, you know, I'm actually really happy to hear that you started in 2013 with figure because, again, as we said, we think a lot of the reason why a lot of people are deciding not to do figures because they want to get to the finish line so quick, and it does take time to build. And I'm actually really happy that you started from there so people can see you can still be successful. Don't rush it. I think this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, I love everything about the figure division, but another thing, as you bring up, is I just love it. Like you can't build. Most of us cannot build an impressive figure physique in 2 years or 3 years, you know. And I love that. I just love the commitment and the process and the work. Like it's just so honorable the work you have to put in to build an impressive figure physique. But the bikini division is a great entry point for those of us who don't have a lot of muscle genetically, or you know, didn't start with any.
Right? Because with figure, you have to be super well balanced. So it's not like you can just do cardio and be successful. You have to literally have like a legit posing coach. You have to have a trainer, and you have
Yep.
to have nutritionist, you know, like all three
Yep.
of those hand in hand when it comes to figure because you have to literally be a scientist. You're building your physique to match the criteria of this division, which is a Coca-Cola bottle shape. Huge
Yep.
back, huge legs. That's what they want. Literally.
Yep.
And we are those. So that's why our figure is the bomb because you know we are all the shit. But
But speaking of what you're saying, you know, about the posing coach, the coach. So we understand you have a few as well. So Who have you been working with as your coach, your posing coach?
Yeah, I'm so grateful to them. So Shelby Starnes has been my coach since 2015. And I've worked with a couple different people for posing before, but then last year, yeah, it was last year, I started working with Autumn Cleveland, and I definitely connect with her the best of the different posing coaches I've worked with. And I mean, just even the amazing person she is aside as a posing coach, yeah, I just connect with her really well. And so those two, yeah.
Nice.
Autumn and Shelby. Shelby's a hot coach right now in the industry.
Yeah.
Girls, y'all look literally. There isn't one person on your team that doesn't come in condition.
I
So
would say that.
and freaking physiques. And Autumn, she's an awesome posing coach. She poses really well too. So I'm not surprised that she, put your routine together. So
Oh my God. I can't wait to see how she does at the Sasquatch Pro this weekend.
Oh, we're so excited. There's definitely some people that I'm really looking forward to watching. Autumn has Autumn has come a long way, like seriously, and her progress is consistent
Yeah.
every year, and that's what I find to be so impressive. It's not just, oh, this person has a great physique and they come the same every year. No, she's literally getting better every year. So I'm pretty sure, without a doubt, she's definitely going to qualify for the Olympia this year. She will be at her
Yeah,
Olympia.
it was like seeking her out as opposing coach actually had nothing to do with the fact that she has half blonde dreads and I have.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it's funny.
How long have you had yours?
Almost 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I was 20 and I was living and working in Tahiti and like in the ocean all the time, and it was like, yeah, let's just do this. Let's let it dread,
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so I'm 37 now, so almost 17 years.
You think it's
I
easier
love it.
posing?
Thank you. What's up?
Is it easier like whenever you're posing and like how you're preparing it for the stage? How do you prepare your hair when you're getting ready for the stage?
I like look in the mirror and I'm like, do you just
Right?
we're
No way. Wow.
Oh, I mean, I have like so my natural, I like it blonde. So I have this amazing girl that's really like works with dreads really well for color. So she I usually have it like blonde up to like close to the roots. And and then yeah, I just kind of like do something with it so it looks polished enough for the stage. But I never book hair and makeup. I just book makeup.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Earlier on in my journey, I wasn't sure if the judges, would like or dislike the dreadlocks, and but then I think I asked for feedback early on a couple times, and then I was like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna get rid of it regardless of what they say, so let's just rock it. I'm not gonna change it even if they say it takes away from your physique. No, they didn't. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna listen. So
Man, it totally works. Like that is your look for sure.
thank you. Yeah,
Well,
7 years. I can't remember what normal hair is like.
A lot of girls that are new to the sport that do have that concern. They're like, is it okay for me to dye my hair? Should I make it like this person? Can I have it curly like this person? And my honest, opinion and advice would be to do whatever is you. Like whatever you feel most confident in, wear that.
Exactly.
Get on stage and you're wearing something and your hair some way that you don't like, you're going to perform that way. If you're used to your curly hair, wear your curly hair. If you have dreads, wear them. So I'm so happy you said that because there's like 9 out of 10 times I get that question asked whenever I see it. So I'm very happy you brought that up.
Yeah, I agree. Whatever, like I just think so much like confidence and your essence at least for me, the more confident I feel about everything on stage, like the better I show up. And if somebody, feels confident with their hair a certain way, it's like, man, do that.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah.
What else was I going to ask? Oh, okay. So you won the Open overall. You won Masters 35 and over overall. What does it feel like to have IFBB Figure Pro before your name now?
It's amazing. So I'm so joyful, like elated, grateful, still sinking in. Um, it feels amazing. And I know the cliche of all cliches, everything happens for a reason, but I'm so grateful that all those times I was one place away from my pro card, because it happened a lot. I was one placing away, and I'm just so grateful it happened that way, because it's just like, how could it be any more validating that I deserve or have earned to be a pro than to get an overall at a pro qualifier? And I never, ever, ever in my wildest dreams, that never even like occurred to me that that could be a thing. You know, I just always pictured like at some point, and this happened well into my journey when I could go back further, but when I started, competing in figure, it was just, I just loved the process.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked seeing what I could do, and then seeing like, okay, I want this to be better and this to be better, and now let's get back to work. And I love that that process takes like a year or 6 months. Like it's a patience game, and I just love that process. And so it wasn't, I never was like, oh, I want to get a pro card. It was,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, this sport is amazing and it feels good, and I love the discipline and the lifting and blah blah blah, and sculpting something out of clay, like you said. And so when I went out to Shelby, to be my coach, I that was in 2015, and I remember in my intake form, I didn't, he's asking something about like your goal or what do you want to achieve, and I wasn't like, oh, I want a pro card. I just said, I want conditioning I'm really proud of.
Mm-hmm.
That was all I sought out to do. And then I sort of, kept getting better. And then one year, I can't remember what year it was, maybe 17, I got third at USA's. And it was like, whoa, wait, what? That just happened? I was just one place away from a pro card.
Yeah.
And then it became a like, okay, let's accept this mission and see what we could do. But I got off track with what your question was. I guess when you asked, how does it feel to see IFBB after? It's just like, it's unbelievable. And so at some point I thought, if I just keep getting better and keep getting better, I think I could get my pro card.
Right.
And then I was placing away several times, but I thought it was attainable. But I just had this picture that I would like just squeak in with it, like maybe I'd get a second place at USA's or something like that.
Yeah.
It just never ever occurred to me that I might get an overall.
Right. Wow, that's insane. So it's almost like you became comfortable with getting second place. Like you felt like you were one spot away from your pro card. Like you were okay with that because you're still improving. You never imagined in your wildest dreams that you'll win first place and overall. That's accomplishment. Like a big deal whenever you're at such a huge national show. North America is one of the harder ones. So that's congratulations. And then you won 2 overalls at that. But tell us a bit about the climb that it took you, since you said you started with Shelby in 2015. Now we're in 2022. Tell us those years in between and how you felt, just waiting and being patient to keep climbing for this time now.
Well, yeah, like I said, at first it was just I wanted to get conditioning that I was really proud of. And, I was doing regional shows. So my first show with Shelby was down in Vegas, and I took first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was the next year he said we should target a national show. And well, it's hard to remember. It's been a long time coming. But I think the next year is when I did a warm-up show in Colorado and I won the overall and then went to USA's and that's when I got third. And I didn't think, I was like, oh my gosh, it would be so cool to get first call out.
Right.
And so anyway, so that's when I got third and I thought, okay, well, maybe I could get this pro card. I'm close. And then I did USA's again. I don't think it was the next year, but I've gotten third. I got third at USA's 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So you mentioned it, Z, you said something about like almost getting comfortable with it. And that was totally it. Like I got second at the Amateur Olympia twice, which, they take the class winner from each.
Right.
And then pro cards. So going into North Americans, I was kind of like, yeah, this is a good decision, but also they only give a pro card to first. So what are you going to do? Get second?
Right.
Probably. So when I got off stage from I did my master's class first, the 35 and over class. And when I got off stage, my friend Chelsea was in the lineup as well. And she was like, babe, I think you got it. You got it. And I was like, no. And she's like, no, I think you got it. And I was like, girl, there's 10 up here. That's an even number.
Yeah.
I'm probably second, And I didn't. So I got off, stage and went back to the staging area. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, how does it feel? Like, I'm like, it feels like I probably got second and that's great. And I'm really proud of how I look. And then the same thing happened in the open class. We got off and they had moved me in both of the classes. I started out on the end, which, well, whatever, but they moved me, I was the first one they moved. And so that feels good. But when we got off stage from the open class, same thing. Somebody said, you were in the middle. And I was like, no, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
and I almost didn't believe it. But again, I was like, I counted as we went into the room. And I was like, there were 6 though in the first call out. There were 6. So
Yeah.
I'm probably so everybody's saying like, good things. And I just said, I have my hopes. My hopes are up, but I am not celebrating. I will not, let myself go there or feel it until I have that pro card.
Confirmation, right.
Oh, yeah. I am the same way. I can't tell you how many shows that he definitely got it. I'm like, look, until the fat lady sings.
Yes.
And they say, follow place.
Totally. And especially when there's an even number.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was like in the master's class, I think there were 8 in that call out, and then there were 6 in the open. And I was splitting center in both, but I was in different spots.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, maybe after prejudging, I thought, well, maybe I've got it in the master's class. But I was in a different spot in open. So, but it was like, that's okay. Even if hopes are up, even if I just got my pro card, like, that would be amazing. So.
But also, I like how you said, that your friend Chelsea was pumping you up in line, telling you like, hey, you got it. This is a lot of times, a lot of competitors deal with this, and we don't accept compliments. We do not. I myself even do this. We are so push compliments and realize how rude it is. And this is something that I'm working on myself. So I don't want y'all to feel like I'm personally attacking y'all. It's just something that I noticed, and I feel like we should definitely bring attention to it. But whenever someone compliments us, we are so used to saying what's wrong with us. Instead of saying thank you, like, oh, you have really good legs, thank you, we'll say, oh, no, my legs are not good right now, but I'm fat.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But we need to be more welcoming of these compliments because, ultimately us not accepting those compliments is just us putting ourselves down. We don't have to focus on the flaws.
Right. We're just perfectionists. That's the problem. Yes. But it does define a good athlete because we are never satisfied.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
Pros and cons.
Yin and yang for sure. Goodness. Hold on one second. I was gonna ask, what was it? Oh, what are some of the struggles that during just this prep for your pro card, other than just being accepting of the overall thing? Because it sounds like you were just going through the motions, like of all right, we're just gonna continue going along the journey, like not really not believing in yourself, but like you said, you got comfortable with accepting the fact that you are one spot away. So, what were some of the struggles that you faced during this getting your pro card?
Well, I get with this one, it was just so freaking long.
Mm,
Like, I think it used to be, I'll go back, like with prep, I'm pretty comfortable in prep.
mm,
I'm pretty good with the grind, and yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with prep. It used to be before I started working for myself, it was time management. It was, when you're on somebody else's clock and like a strict schedule, it used to be the hardest part for me was time management, just trying to fit in the time for cardio and prep, or, food prep and all that, and workouts. And with this prep, it was just so long. I had been dog sitting for one of my best friends in Amsterdam in January. And originally I went and I was like, cool, I'm gonna like start to ease into prep. I'm just gonna go over there, take care of the dog, take care of the apartment, and really like focus on my lifting for a while. And then the Netherlands was like weird, and they went into another lockdown. Like nobody else did, but the Netherlands did. And I'd already committed to this. And oh shit, like, because the gyms were closed. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. So I still took care of the dog. I rented a car and I drove us like 5 or 6 hours to Germany where my sister lives, because gyms were open there, but you had to COVID test every time you wanted to go to the gym. And so anyway, that's a long story. But when I finally got home, it was like I'd been set back. Instead of like getting closer to being ready for a summer show, it was like I'd regressed, 3-4 weeks. So they're like, I started with Shelby, because I do my own off seasons. I always do my own off seasons, and then Shelby preps me.
mm,
And so February 1st we started prep, but it was like the first 3-4 weeks was like just some good recomp.
mm,
And then I told him, I was like, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking USA's, but I am going on my honeymoon for 2 weeks to Europe at this time, so we kind of have to get me ahead of the game a little bit, because I want to go on my honeymoon and enjoy myself, and that's more important to me than making it for a certain show.
right.
So I got back from my honeymoon, and so I went into USA's this year and got third, and I was feeling pretty good, even though I mean I didn't have expectations, but I had my hopes up for getting my card at USA's, and I got third. And so Shelby said, well, what do you think about hopping into North Americans? And it was just like this big wave of like, whoa, like look at the calendar, dude, that's 4.5 weeks. Like, can I do it? Do I want to do it right now? I just never, I'm not sure why, but I hadn't looked at the calendar beyond USA's.
Yeah.
That would I push on? It was more like, I'm gonna be done. You can do that countdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 weeks. I got 10 days. I'm almost there.
Yep.
And my husband was really a huge part. So Shelby was, and Autumn too, and my husband, he really like, babe, you're so close. Like you should do it. And yeah. Well, and he has his very own different passion. He's this amazing hunter, and he was going up to the Northwest Territories in Canada for this hunt that he's been waiting for years. He was like, you know what? I'm not even going to be home to like really miss out on time with you. You might as well grind it out, and you're so close. So anyway, so I made the decision, and so the hardest part of this prep was, it's not like I can grind out the cardio. I I can say no to things. I don't have a lot of FOMO of like missing out on stuff. I've gotten really good at controlling my emotions and mood and cravings, or not even going into the cravings, space. So the hardest part of this prep was just how long it was, and because that's from February 1st to September 1st.
Oh,
It's a long one.
Stupid.
nation. Perfect.
At least you were in shape, all summer.
Yeah. Okay. And I like to go to my honeymoon.
See? There's perks.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Awesome. But so how was it? How are you able to control your cravings, your emotions, and all that right now? Because we're really big on bringing awareness to mental health as well, and we always want to, give out advice on how successful competitors deal with their headspace, because this sport is extremely mental, and
All mental.
all of it, exactly.
Totally.
And you just said you gained 30 weeks. Shelby said you were on a prep. Wow, wow. Wow.
Oh, how about, was it?
Sorry if y'all hear deadlifting in the back. It's kind of loud.
uh, um, I don't know. Part of me just wants to say practice. I did my first, bikini competition back in 2011, but also like I work as a coach, and I work as I don't mean like prep coach. I do a lot of mindset coaching and mindset, lifestyle, that type of coaching, personal coaching. And so I think that's really helped me. Mm-hmm. And I am not saying like I'm a Buddhist, but I really feel like some of the Buddhist principles are so key to us choosing our happiness. Mm-hmm. And like we define our suffering. So if I decide like, oh, this sucks and I'm starving and I can't have what my husband is having and poor me, it's like, oh, I just created my suffering. I just made it worse. Mm-hmm. But if I'm grateful for this, like, getting to choose to diet and getting to choose to like be picky about what you eat and make the time to go exercise, that's a huge luxury that like there's a billion people on the planet that probably don't know like where their next meal is coming from. So I just feel like it's such a luxury and a choice to get to do this lifestyle. And I think I just remind myself of that when it feels crappy, and it's like, oh, I could stop this at any time. I could go down to the street corner and fill myself with 5,000 calories in a second if I want to. And nobody around me, nobody who I love, whether that's my clients or my family, nobody should suffer because I make this crazy choice to be a bodybuilder. And I really feel like if I play like the victim too much, I really just make it worse on myself. Like if I'm happy and grateful for the journey, then it feels better. And if I complain about it, I can complain a little bit, if it helps me move past it. I can say this is hard, or this is difficult, or this is exhausting, if it helps me move past it. But if I like complain about it or bitch about it for too long, it just makes it worse. It just makes it more of a thing, I think. So that's kind of a long answer, but I think it's that being grateful for it. And there's always, I have examples in my life of people that, physically, because they were dealt a poor hand, have the inability, physical ability with health. So there's always someone way worse off. And this competing thing is just a luxury, I think, to get to choose it. So better be grateful for it.
Love that. I absolutely.
I say that all the time. No matter how hard this gets, how hungry, how tired, exhausted, that I get to do this.
We get it's because we're choosing to do a difficult thing. It just helps us in every other aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
And if we have something like that we can't control, that's difficult, that's different, that's harder. We choose this, and every time we choose to do something hard and we do it, we just get better at life. So that was my favorite thing about bodybuilding from the beginning, was choosing to do something difficult doing it, and then you're more, you know, confident and capable to take on the next hard thing.
Absolutely.
Literally, what I preach to almost everybody is that building state, you become this, not, it doesn't help you become yourself, but it just shows you who you are, who you truly are, because you can say no to food, because you gain that control of, you know, getting rid of instant satisfaction right now. You can control every other aspect in your life. You can tell your boss, no, you're not going to use me and make me work overtime. No, I'm not going to do this with a friend or whatever. But bodybuilding truly is a savior for a lot of people, because it just puts everything into perspective, and it helps you gain control over every aspect of your life, like you were saying.
Yeah, if we can control, you know, how we manage our time and what we put in, we control whatever life throws at us, I think.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
100%. But your journey is amazing. I'm still like amazed at how hardworking you still are, starting at 2011, and you're like still explosive and going so. You're just going at an arrow. Do you have a pro show in mind that you're going to do? Are you going to wait a year? Do you know if you're going to do anyone this year, or what are your plans for the future?
I'm really leaning towards not competing in 2023 and competing in 2024. I'm not set on that, but I think mentally, psychologically, socially, physically, I don't think it would be a bad thing. I know I know my legs need to grow. Got these long femurs. I don't know. But I know my legs need to get bigger, and you know that takes time. So I don't know. I mean, I know it sounds a long ways away.
Hey, age will always be there.
Yeah.
One. So
And
it's
then
your
I'll be 39 now. It's kind of old.
It's not
uh,
nothing.
with the way, you know, figure is, it's the older women that you have to look up for, the muscle maturity, the conditioning. I mean, us young bloods, I mean, we really gotta try to get as, you know, mature as possible to go up against a lot of these masters.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's maybe like late spring, early summer show for, but
In 2024?
what's up?
You're thinking 2024, you're thinking of competing?
I think so.
It's your 30-week prep talking right now.
Yeah.
You itch.
Yeah, you're like, I done checked out. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, in 2023, I bet it. I'm putting money.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I know I want to put some size on, and Shelby agrees, you know, I need to put some size on definitely my legs. And yeah, I wasn't sure. Like I wanted at some point and I thought I could get my pro card, but I didn't know how I would feel after. I wasn't sure if I would be like, okay, I'm good. I don't even need to compete anymore, or if I'd want to. And you know, at some point I thought I could never be big enough or look like a pro. Like even if I got my pro card, I'm not sure I felt like I could hold my own on a pro stage. So that's another thing with like how it all happened, because if I had snuck in with a second place pro card at like USA's or something, you know, maybe I would have stayed with that mindset. But where these judges at North Americans gave me the overall and the overall, and they were, I don't know, they were like pretty quick with their decisions. That was kind of crazy. They're just like 588, come to the middle. 588, middle. And so it's like, it's so validating, I guess, is that, yeah, I need to see how I could stack up on the pro stage. But
I'm going to do very well, to be very honest.
thank you. But anything else from here on out is just like the bonus round. You know, I feel like I've achieved my big dream, and now it's just the bonus round.
That's good. I think too, a lot of people just need to get in, like whenever you become a new pro, you need to be around pros so that you can realize your actual size compared to their actual size. Because whenever I'm talking to people online or they see me on stage, they literally think I'm this 6'1", 450-pound person. And I have a robe, and they're like, "Are you doing bikini?" Seriously. So it's like you can be the same size as somebody. It doesn't matter, but you're not going to know until you stand next to a pro. And it could be close this year. You'll never know until you stand on stage with them, because obviously the judges picked you for a reason. You won 2 overalls for a reason, and like you just said, they were quick about their decision. So
Yeah.
don't doubt yourself. You can definitely do it. And
Yeah.
congratulations so much with all of your success throughout everything and continuing your journey, because we know it's very hard to be patient. We all want it right now, but you're the epitome of being patient and never quitting. You can never fail if you don't quit. And look at you now.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ladies, so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for, giving us some of your time. I mean, it's everyone's busy, and you're still celebrating your win. So thank you so much for giving us some of your time.
Oh, I'm so humbled and honored, really. So thank you for giving me the time, and like I said, anything I can do to promote the figure division, I'm there for it.
Before we let you go, though, can you please give our viewers a little words of wisdom to the girls that are still, chasing their pro card and they feel like, it's going to
Mhm.
take forever? Just what words would you tell them right now on their journey?
Well, they might not like it, but you really have to enjoy the grind. I think you have to enjoy and, find joy. Find joy in just the daily grind and celebrating the small wins. Whether that's lifting when you don't want to, or, nailing your diet 100%. You have to find satisfaction in just those daily things and those weekly things, because the stage, when you get to a competition, it's out of your hands. You can, and that's, I can show up and I can bring my best, but if somebody shows up that day that's better than me, hats off to them. They're better than me, and that's fine. So you just have to control the variables you can,
Right.
and be so freaking proud of that, and then it's out of your hands. So I don't know if that's helpful, but
Yeah.
Hey, it is.
the way
You have to find joy in the grind. Absolutely. That's the
and
only keep going, because motivation only lasts but for so long. It's
yeah,
the discipline is that it's gonna kick in. That's what you need to depend on.
yeah, and there's that arrival fallacy of happiness or success, is if you think you're going to be happy, if you're going to wait to be happy once you get a pro card, or if you're going to, oh, once I get a first place, or once I get an overall, once I get a pro card, then I'll be happy. No, that's not going to do it. You just, you have to be happy along the way, because it doesn't just change, because of a placing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Be happy with the grind, and remember like who you are and what you accomplished regardless of the placing. And it might take you, hopefully anybody who's watching, hopefully it doesn't take you 5 years or longer to get your card, but even if it does, it feels so sweet when it happens.
Yes. Thank you so much for being on with us, Natasha. Congratulations to you, Shelby, and Autumn. Y'all pulled together an amazing 2 overall titles, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on that pro stage in 2023.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I love what you're doing for the figure industry, and call on me if I can help.
Definitely.
Will.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back with another episode. Keep looking out for all of our updates, our giveaways. We're always doing something every week. Follow, like, comment, share, go to the YouTube channel, and all of that. And again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Natasha, congratulations. Nicole, I will talk to you later.
Yes, you will.
Bye, y'all.